What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Beautiful day on the farm, whatever you want to call it. Today we're doing a little just some chores. Just some chores around the house. We're gonna fix that up. That's just a dilapidated mess. As you can see, went to Tractor Supply and Lowe's, got us a little lumber to make a new planter. Got some new wood chips for the coop, or the run, as you will. Got some oyster shells, dog food, grass seed, chicken feed, weed and feed. We're feeding everything today. So let's get some chores done. So, for those of y'all that don't know, new chicken owners out there, these right here, pine bark shavings, great for the run. They mulch them up really good, but it takes a lot longer than if you were to use like normal pine shavings, you know, like really fine stuff. Great for the run, lasts a lot longer. They don't hold moisture as much as other things, so moisture goes to the bottom. It's still dry on their feet, which is very good. And they may look really big at first. Trust me, they will crumble those things down in a month or two. Hey guy, what are you eating? Probably something not good. Hey, how about we don't and say we didn't? So as you can see, some new layer here for them to kick around and poop on and manure. And we'll clean up their water, got some new feed, and hopefully got some oyster shells, and hopefully they'll continue producing. Yeah, these two right here do not have a love-lost relationship. It's a little rough. So, I've tinkered around with a lot of different foods. Best one that I can find for the price the do more. Egg layer crumbles. My chickens are very sensitive to the bigger pellets, so I feed them all crumbles. And unfortunately they were out of the 20-pound bag of oyster shells, but I typically just provide some extra oyster shells because I noticed a couple of the eggs have been really thin, so just trying to help them out, thicken up the old shell a little bit. And I know I've said this before, always put your food in some sort of food safe bucket if you know you're going to be keeping it for longer than like 3 weeks. Mice, rats, squirrels, I'm having a squirrel problem. They'll get in there and just tear into your food. This isn't your food. So I haven't checked today. Oh, got 4. Got Speck in there just doing her work. Not crushed, that's good. Yeah, as you can see, nice sunny day. These chickens are gonna do what chickens do, lay a bunch of eggs. And another thing we're gonna do, that little tool right there, very hard to see. We're gonna go through, tear up some of this dirt, because as you can see, it's just barren and rocks. So we're gonna go through, try to scrape up as much as we can, disturb the ground. I know it doesn't look any fun, but we're not doing the whole yard. We're just doing some sections here and there. And we're gonna fertilize, put the chickens away, fertilize and water, and then reseed here in a couple days. And maybe we can get a nice little lush pasture for the chickens. What do you think? Huh? Yeah, you don't care. All right, as you can see, got the box built. I'm no carpenter by any means, so leave the judgments at home. But just wanted to get something a little more sturdy for this guy. So now we're gonna transplant him, or attempt to. He's been in here forever. He has grown up all around the planter. All right. Now we just got to get them to fit. You can't get this at your mama's Lowe's. This is some compost that I have. All kinds of good stuff in here. All right, gonna go hook the hose up, give him a little drinky poo, and I consider that a transferred plant. What's up? Just made it out on the water. Came out here for a little quick fishing trip. No intro needed, you already know. Water has skyrocketed from like 52 last Thursday or last Friday. It is now 60 degrees. These fish are gonna be doing the dang thing pretty freaking soon. So what my plan is here, I'm gonna check the fronts of these creeks and go back in these creeks, because I think they will be really close. You know, some of them probably already getting up in there to make their beds and scoping out spots to spawn. Yeah, we're gonna throw a little shallow crankbait. We're gonna throw a vibrating jig. We're gonna throw a flipping jig. Yeah, now it's normalizing. It's back down to 59 and 58. I mean, still warm enough for these fish to really move up in here quick. We've had quite a few warm days now in a row, and at night it is getting colder, but I mean, these warm days will push these fish up, especially what I'm fishing right now is a rocky point. And they'll hug up on those rocks and get nice and warm. Just trolling, I just passed a huge boulder and a big stump out. I mean, we're sitting, it's probably in about 4 or 5 foot of water. Perfect spawning depth for these bigger fish. These big fish typically want to spawn somewhere deeper, and ooh, I just had one follow it. They want to spawn somewhere deeper, a little cooler water, but still get plenty of sun to incubate those eggs. All right, guys, caught our first largemouth of the year. Surprising. Bizbait's jig, 3/8 ounce, throwing up off a wind-blown point, and this guy was sitting in the slack water by a dock. So water temp's 56 degrees over here. That's what we want. See you later. Yeah, here you go. Bizbaits. Oh, over here. Kind of a crawl pattern. Dark, very simple. I had to downsize a lot. So finally got a bite. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for today. Didn't get a ton of bites, but got what I think are pretty key bites. The few ones that I did, all were leading into these major creeks, none of the smaller creeks, and all on the first couple of docks with rock on them. I had 3 bites all day, caught 1 fish, and they were all very, very light bites. I got all 3 of them on this jig right here, which I just showed you I caught that fish on. Water's really clear. These fish do not seem to be very aggressive by the bites that I was getting today. But just to show you some other ones that I was pitching around, I always have a shaky head tied on. That's kind of my cleanup bait if you get into a little group of them. Didn't get any hits on that today, which is all right. Then little square bill. This thing will run in anywhere from 1 to 3 foot of water. It matches the shad that are out here, size, color. Threw that up against the rocks, and I don't think I got any bites on it today because the fish just were not aggressive and didn't seem to want to feed, or the ones that I found. And lastly, got a vibrating jig, chatterbait. Again, water's really clear, so try to keep it a smaller profile. I trimmed the skirt on it. We had some wind today and some clouds, so threw a little shinier, whatever those things, I don't even know what those are called, the tab on them, we'll just call it that. Threw a shinier tab, and this is a 3/8, and this is a 1/2 ounce, so I was able to get it down deeper. And I mainly threw that over rock or submerged rock, big brush piles, but didn't get any bites. So see a trend. None of my moving baits got any looks today. Only one that I did get a bite on and catch a fish on was the jig. And I had to downsize. I was originally throwing a 1/2 ounce pitching and flipping jig. Went down to a smaller 1/4 or 3/8 ounce finesse jig. So, not, like I said, not as many bites as I wanted to get, but some key bites that helped me locate where I think most of these fish are staging at so far. And it kind of clues me in, if I come back later this week and the water continues to get warmer, these fish will work their way further back into these creeks. And as you can see, this one behind me, I didn't even get a 1/4 through it. I just pulled up in here and tested a theory about my other 2 bites, and it worked. So, establishing a pattern is really critical this time of year, up until the spawn. Then you can catch them shallow, But this time of year, pre-spawn, water's still 56 degrees, or I was bouncing from 55 to 56. So just trying to figure out what stage these fish are in. I mean, last week I caught them in 20 foot of water. Today I got all my bites in 5 foot or less. So that's just something to look at going forward when we come out here and give them a dangle. But as I like to close it out, if you like this video, like it, subscribe it, share it with your grandma, I don't care. But just, give it a thumbs up for enjoying some outdoor greatness. There's a freaking wood duck flying over right now. Majestic. But all right, until next time, guys, keep dangling.